Hello and welcome to our motor development video. I'm Sam and this is Cade. Recently we were given the task in completing a lesson plan that will help develop students' object control skills. We were given the option to work with ages from kinder, age 5, through to grade 10, age 16 and 17.
We were instructed that we had to create games that would be suitable for both higher and lower class students.
We came together and decided that an appropriate age would be grade 4s, so ages 8 to 9.
We designed a final game that would assess the students' overarm, underarm throws, and ability to incorporate that into a game type scenario.
In order for the children to be successful with participating in this game, we had to construct development games that would increase the students' object and control skills. Development Game 1 was constructed in order for us to know the capabilities of each student's skills with an object. This activity was put together that would show us evidence of where they were at. The activity was a simple throw and catch, and at first we instructed the students to throw underarm. We then would modify the activity and encourage the students to throw overarm, which would then give us more of an indication of where they were at skill-wise. If students were competent enough, we would then encourage them to increase the distance between them to then further the difficulty.
Within our warm-up game, we included a number of modifications which would allow the higher achieving students and both the lower achieving students to be tested. This was quite simple and included changing things such as the distance of the throw, so the lower achieving students were able to complete the underarm throws and both the higher overarm throws, whilst the higher achieving students could both do the same, but they could be tested by varying the distance of the throw. So that was simply done by, after they completed a successful pass and catch, they would then take a step back, do the same. When they dropped the ball or made an unsuccessful catch, they would reset and start again.
Game 2 sees an introduction of an interceptor, where the aim is to get the ball from one student to another successfully without the interceptor blocking it. This will aim to improve the student's spatial awareness, coordination, and of course the main one, their object control skills. As shown in this demonstration, a combination of throws and movement is applied to make a successful pass and will help to develop in locomotion as well as their object control manipulation. The modifications that we enforced were the students were confined into a specific space, and we thought to challenge the students a bit more we would confine that space, so bring the actual markers in, so they had to work on their spatial awareness a bit more, their coordination and a little bit of teamwork as well as that.
Yeah, and that also puts the practice skills that they were just doing, so the overarm and underarm throw, into a game type scenario in preparation for the final game, Stick'em. The final game we created, Stick'em, involves object manipulation within a wide variety of contexts to allow the students to apply their previously learnt skills and talents. These skills are applied within a game sense type scenario to allow the educator to teach games for understanding whilst assessing student development. The game involves various locomotive skills but mainly assesses the student's ability to control the chosen ball through overarm and underarm throwing. These skills are then tested when defenders are added to the game to create real game type scenarios. The specific rules and required equipment for our games can be found within our handout, which includes modifications and inclusive strategies for our chosen lesson.
Two options, come on.
Modifications for the final game, Stick'em, included increasing or decreasing the field size area dependent upon the flow of play.
Other modifications that we can incorporate for the third and final game is eliminating the end zones, so the students just focus on passing amongst their team.
So instead of scoring by taking the ball to one of the end zones, they simply score by passing it throughout their team. And another way we can include everyone in this game, sort of to really get that inclusive practices happening, is to ensure they have to pass it to each team member. So for example, if me and Sam are on the same team, we can't pass it back and forth 10 times to score. we've actually got to include all the students. Another modification we can make to the game to sort of include students with physical impairments or disabilities can be sorted to make reasonable adjustments on the spot to include all students. So within the context of the game, this could just be as simple as including that rule where all the students have to pass the ball and receive the catch and then make a throw before scoring to ensure the ball gets around all students, or allowing students that maybe can't complete an overarm throw to throw underarm, just sort of modifying the rules and being a little bit lenient to allow all students to participate. One modification we could make to sort of include all students, if we had a student in a wheelchair, is to actually bring in a number of wheelchairs so all the students play within a wheelchair. This is obviously limited to availability of wheelchairs, and we're going to include wheelchairs in a unit such as playing the game Stickum. You probably would have had to do a bit of a warm-up unit, so that would include a bit of sort of moving around the gym, moving around cones in a wheelchair to ensure all the students could safely operate a wheelchair before putting it into a game which involved catching and throwing. Alright, so the assessment was made for grade 4 students. So we broke it down into 3 stages. That was below the level, at the level, or beyond the level. So we assessed the overarm throw. So there was assessment criteria for that. That involved stuff like eyes focused on the target throughout the throw, standing side onto the target, and step forward with the opposite foot during the throw. So then after the student completes that task, we can then assess them either at the level, below the level, or beyond the level, and that can be used to then grade the students for the final assessment task. Now, we also incorporated an underarm throw and the student's ability to perform these skills into the game type scenarios and assess them too. So we've got 3 criterias and a number of different assessments which can be made from that. Whilst our group devised the assessment criteria, we found explicit links between the ACARA curriculum and the rubric to therefore further enhance the scope of the rubric.